Our first speaker is going to be Allie Sharp from Langston University, and her presentation is Create and Share Accessible Screen Recordings with Microsoft Stream.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to turn off my video in a minute just to save bandwidth, but I wanted you to have a face to go with my name. And the resources, the way that Office 365 works, we can't share, you won't be able to use any of my links unless you're inside the Oklahoma A&M system, but I'm happy to put them up on Google Drive and share them with you that way. And I see the irony of that as well. So I'm going to stop my video so that you can see my presentation. And this is using Office 365. So you should be able to see my PowerPoint now on your screen. If anybody can't see it, give a shout because I'm in full screen mode.
Not yet.
All right. I'm sorry, can you see it?
No, we cannot. Not yet.
Oh my, and I thought I was sharing it. Okay, how about now?
It looks like we're pulling up. Perfect. We're
good. Thank you. And the captions are automatically generated by PowerPoint. If that's not something you know how to do, email me. My email is sharpa@langston.edu, and I will be happy to get that information to you. Okay, so recording with Stream. Like I said, my name is Allie Sharp. I'm an instructional designer at Langston University. Feel free to contact me. My email is the best way because of how frequently I do training. So that's sharpa@langston.edu. I come up in the OK State directory. You can send it to sharpa@OK State, the same. And my number is 405-466-2007. And our website is cti@langston.edu. So about today, this is a presentation I've done multiple times with our Langston faculty. I'll give an overview of Stream and talk about how to record Stream. We'll talk about how to put forms into Stream and then how to embed videos. We use D2L, but we're moving to Canvas, so this works with both of those. I'm sure it probably works with Blackboard. If at any time you decide you want to follow along with these options, you just need to minimize your Zoom. And the way that you do that is you go to View Options and choose Exit Full Screen. When I do this as a practice where people interact, it's an hour long. This is compressed to the half hour, which is just like the tour of it. But I want to always share how to do that. So you click on View Options at the top of the screen and then choose Exit Full Screen if you want to follow along and see options in your Office 365. On some of these, I record the video, so it's weird for me to hear my own voice, but you'll get to hear it too. So how to find Stream in your browser. First, you log into office.com with your Office 365 email and password. At Langston, that's our langston.edu. At OSU, it's OK State. At OU, it's the OU email. Then on the app list, you'll see the Stream app on the left side. So that's that little waffle in the corner. If you've never opened Streams, you may need to say search all apps. So here's a quick little video of how that works. I log in and I click that waffle, the 9 dots on the side, and I click on Stream. Okay, so that's where you find it. It looks like the little arrow. And so when you go in, if you're going to practice afterwards, you're going to go to Office and log in. You'll find it on the app list, and you're going to look for that pink arrow. Let's talk about why I've been recommending our faculty to use Stream. First, it's web-based. We can record, upload, and stream from any browser, including Chrome and Safari. It works best with Microsoft Edge, but it can be from anywhere. So when we all went to remote and didn't have access to our lab where we have Camtasia, using Stream made a big difference. It's accessible. It automatically generates searchable transcripts, and it's similar to what you're seeing automatically generated in front of me. The words are not always perfect, but it's a really nice feature. And then it's part of our Office 365 subscription, so you can share it, save it, and embed it. The videos are only allowed with people who have that same Office 365 subscription. So it's not like YouTube where if you or students make a video, other people can see it unless you change the privacy settings. It's automatically just for your university. So I want to give you a look at what that searchable transcripts look like.
I talked about translating. You could type in translate and it shows you the two places where I talked about translating, and left clicking on it. There's also the option.
So that was me talking on there so that you can see it recording. But Stream makes the captions searchable so that when you type it into that search box, it comes up. I didn't create the transcripts. I didn't create the timings. It does that automatically. So if it's later in the semester and students are reviewing for a quiz or a project, they can go back to the videos you recorded. They can search by keywords and find those concepts. Let's talk about how to navigate Stream. And remember, this is all in your web browser. Your tools might look slightly different, but everything should be in the same place. On your main screen of Stream, it has a carousel of videos and tutorials. So those are always part of that Microsoft Office experience. The top menu has Discover, Content, and then you can create, and you can also search content. And then we have our tools for, I need to move this out of the way, to create our content. So we click on the create button, and that's where you can upload videos. You can host a live event, which is similar to what we're doing now, or you can record your videos. One note that I like to tell people is that if you record your videos using Stream, like if you're recording your screen or recording a webcam, it's limited to 15 minutes. So you can do your classes in 15-minute chunks, which makes sense because that's a long time for students to sit. If you upload a video, there's no time limit that I have found. So if you recorded something like this, that's 30 minutes, you can upload that and it will do all the transcripts and everything. But if you're recording your screen with Stream, it limits it to 15 minutes. So I'm going to give you a quick tour of what this looks like. When you come in, like I said, first there's going to be that guidelines of where the tutorials are. And so those are always there unless you close them. And those are made by Microsoft. And so a lot of the things I show are from Microsoft. And you can always start right there and know where you've been. This trending videos for us comes from anywhere in A&M, so it'll look different on yours. And then at the top, there's that menu I told you about. This home page is where we are right now. Discover your content. That's where your videos are. That's where you will create, is where you can just start recording your screen. And then there's also a search tool. So to record a video with Stream in your web browser, it almost works backwards. Instead of opening the recorder and then opening your screen, you first want to have your screen ready and you want to follow an outline. I follow outlines when I do things. It helps keep focused. So after you have your screen open and ready to record, then you go to Stream and we click on Create and Record. And then we press the red record button. And so when we press that red record button, then we choose the screen. So the first thing we're going to do is I choose my screen to get ready. So I have that ready in the background. Then I choose record. And I'm choosing the option screen only, but it has the option for screen and camera if you want that, or camera only. And then I'm going to press that red record button that's in the middle of it. And then once I press start recording, it asks me where I want to go. Do I want the entire screen? Do I want just a window or just an edge tab, because I use the Edge browser. And then I'll press, so I choose my screen and then I press record. And on that one, I was choosing my tabs.
Allie, there's a question in the chat that asks if you can make expiring links to content.
No, but you can hide them after a while. That's a good question. I have never been able to do that, but I want everything about me to follow into history so I don't expire it. But so if you wanted it to end at the end of the semester, I think you have to just go in and make it private. If you want to practice this, these are the steps that you would go to Office, press create, and do your screen recording. I give people a PowerPoint to use, but you could just use any PowerPoint and practice recording your screen with that. And you just press the red button. So if you're uploading a video to stream, first you create and upload your video. You don't stay and watch it. It will email you. So you can do any quality you want because it'll do it. You can also drag multiple videos in. I have shifted some of our videos that we had on YouTube. So we had them downloaded to our computer and then, or they were originally recorded on our lab computers and I moved them to stream and I did like 45 at once. And then you can change the options even after you publish. So that kind of goes to the expiring link. If you decide you no longer want it shared, you can do that. So first I signed in, then I went to create and I chose upload videos and then I browsed our computer. So this is in our computer lab where we have all our Camtasia videos that we before I put on YouTube. And then I went in and found the video and I had selected a lot and I selected some things that were not actually videos and it still just told me that's a picture, not a video. It can't go in. Once you put it in, it lets you put in the name of it and the descriptions and it sorts it when they're done. And I get an email when it was done and then I can change the options as well. So we get an email when it's done and this is what that email is looking like for me because I batch uploaded. Stream processes the video. The video gets done, you get your email, but the transcripts take about twice as long. So if your video's half an hour, your transcripts will take another hour. Once it's in there, you get some really basic tools to trim and test. I mean, really basic, like you can change the length of it, but not anything else. You can also add forms into your stream videos. Make the form first because I use the forms really for like quick checks. The same kind of way when you're walking around a classroom, you might be asking like, is this making sense? Or how are you doing? I use that for forms because they don't go into the LMS unless you have that LTI integration, which we don't with D2L. So I haven't tested it going into the LMS. So it's not a SCORM file where you can guarantee it to link into the gradebook. It just goes into the video. And unlike if you needed it to stop the video, you would need to use Camtasia or something like that. But the form appears in the video. So first we make our form and then we paste it into the stream app and then we test the forms. So I'm going to show you a quick video of that process. Here's my video. I'm in my email. I go to my video. And then on the left side, there's the transcript and that can be searched. And then I'm going to click on interactivity. Oh, first I'm apparently searching the transcript. I record these videos in advance so that it saves on bandwidth when I'm doing it. So I'm coming up to interactivity and it says add form. So here's my check-in form where I said restate the concept in your own words. And I'm going to grab that URL for the form and I copied it. And then I'll go to my form. I'm going to go up to share on form and choose copy. And then I'm going to go over to interactivity and choose add form. And if forms are something that are new to you, that might be a good training for us to do during this series, or you can email me and I will send you my form trainings that I do with faculty and staff. So then I choose where I'm going to put the form on the timeline. So about, 20 seconds in or a minute in. And then it's saying restate the concept in your words. And I will get those results inside an Excel file. So it doesn't stop the students. It just pops up on the bottom and says check-in form. But it's a good way to just, like I said, check in, do quick entrance exit exam kind of questions, just see how they're doing. It gives them a sense of somebody's there with them. And then you can also share them by embedding them directly in the online classroom. To do this, we first select share. One nice thing about stream videos is you can share from a specific time. So if it's beginning of the semester and you did an overview of a concept and then midway through you want to just remind them of one specific thing that was 5 minutes into the video, you can share from 5 minutes on. So we select share, we copy the embed code, and if you are not comfortable with all of this, just use the default settings and press copy. If you want to get fancy, there's fancy options. And then you can paste it into the LMS. The searchable transcript is available inside that video. The students have to press the little icon on the bottom, but they are able to search that transcript. So I'm going to show you a video of this process. So here's my video. I'm going to click on share and then I'll choose embed. And I can change the video size if needed. If you're not comfortable, leave it with what it has. Autoplay is where it starts right when it shows on the screen. That irritates people, so leave that off. Responsive means that it's going to adjust to student devices or the device of who's watching it. So if people are watching it on a phone, then it makes it fit better. So that's a good thing to put on. And then showing info, yes, I do that because I wrote it. And that's that start if you wanted to. Then we press copy, and that embed code you can then post into your class. So this is an example with D2L. With Canvas, it's a little similar. So in D2L, you just paste the code inside the box and then press save. Sometimes Microsoft gives that blocked content and I'm not sure why, but I always just press allow. And then, so here it is for the D2L option, and it will show up and automatically be played. And then here it is in Canvas. I go to the little cloud icon and press that same embed code and press submit. And there it is. And then when I actually went and published it, in the bottom, I could see the little icon where students could see that transcript piece. And so that's something you may need to show students. It's that little icon right down there where they can see it, or they can go to the full video on Microsoft Stream. And that's that searchable transcript piece right down there. So when you're sharing it, you always have that option to share as email, or I'm going to put the spotlight on that. You can share it just by copying and press that code, and so you can give someone the direct link, or it gives you an email and you can share directly from Teams if you use that, or you can share your email link. So if you're using Teams, then Stream already goes in so easily with that code, and you can email it or you can embed it. And that is bringing us pretty close to the end. And so we still have a couple minutes because I wanted to give you time to ask questions, but I also wanted to say thank you and appreciate that you came here. And my name is Allie Sharp, and my email address is sharpa@langston.edu. And I have a Stream handout that I can put in, it's mainly just stuff I canceled. I copied from Microsoft. So there's a question about, do stream videos help reduce the storage space for other videos? Yes, they do, in the sense that it's part of our Office 365 storage instead. And so, yeah, you can use the, it does help save space because it's all online. And that's the other nice thing, is that it's, once you make it in one browser, it's okay to edit it at work if you're doing that.